How's it going, my friend? My name is Alvin Cepeda. Welcome to the channel. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about inner peace. I feel like it would be appropriate time to talk about this, considering things happening in the news and all sorts of things. A lot of dis-ease and a lot of people not feeling the inner peace. So the purpose of this video that I'm recording here is to help shed some light in such a way that it gives you a different perspective so that you may not be stressing as much as you would before. Because when it comes to like inner peace, one of the things that I find for myself is I have to choose each and every single moment. I have to choose the inner peace as I'm moving throughout my day. And I think it's important that I keep that in mind. And and I think it's also important to pay attention to what it is that I'm focusing on. Because whatever I'm focusing on could either disrupt my inner peace or it can help unfold more of it. Where my attention goes, energy flows. So to give it some perspective, whatever I think about, whatever the concept, the worry, concern, I'm putting a lot of life energy into that, feeding that. And it could be something more of a parasitic nature where it's like the more I'm feeding it, the more I'm feeling exhausted and drained and stressing about typically things that I come to find and observe, and even for myself, things outside of my control. But there's that part within me I know is like that this need to want to control that I think it's very dangerous and it's very deadly. And these are the subtle things we're talking about here. An important thing that has helped me cultivate a lot of inner peace is perspective, mindset in a lot of ways. But not just that, embodying the perspective. One of the things that I feel like I've come a long way in terms of embodying is that we've come to this planet, this life to learn and grow as a soul with a physical body, having human experiences, knowing that these experiences that we're having is only temporary. And all this is just a period of time for our own evolution. And so everything that happens in life, in our own lives, framing it from my perspective, everything that happens in my life is an opportunity for me to learn more about myself, to rediscover myself, and to also level up to evolve in consciousness. Think of planet Earth like a school. That's one of the big things that has helped me a lot to see that perspective. And so, with all that being said, that's one of the main reasons why I started this channel and why I'm doing this YouTube channel is to educate and share with people in the hopes that they can expand and elevate their perspective, have a bigger picture of life. And that was one of the things that I was thinking about. I wanted to understand when I was at a place in my life when I was searching spiritually. I really wanted more out of life. Like what I was being told wasn't cutting it. Like there's something going on at a higher level, but the people that I've grew up with and I wasn't really getting it from them, nor would it be fair to expect that because we're all operating and doing the best we know how. But the difference was that has put me in this place was because I just started to follow my intuition, follow where I feel guided, where I feel curious, where I feel this desire, really. We actually move by desire. If there's no desire, it's just like just lifelessness, and that's not who we all are innately. And so that big picture, it's very important to consider, to think about. If you're someone that just happened to come across this video, in which case, what's up? Hey, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, to stay connected. I want to continue to educate and provide more tools and resources too, because unless you know how, unless you're given the skills, understandably, there are going to be people that are like, feel lost. And I think that in your search, if you're that individual that's searching for more, to listen to your heart, to go where you feel some kind of curiosity or a pull, something that catches your attention, that resonates with you. Just go with what resonates with you and then just stay open. Be open to reevaluating how you look at things. Because even for myself, as someone who has come to look at life very differently than I did when I originally was searching, like several years ago, I understand that there's always opportunity for me to expand. One of the things I want to actually mention in this is that, especially when it comes to inner peace, it's all about the journey and the process. So when it comes to unfolding a higher perspective, unfolding inner peace, there isn't like a destination where it's like once you get there, then it's like, all right, I'm good, whatever type of thing. And it's just like everything's gonna be easy peasy. There's truth to it. It's yes and no. Yes, in the sense that things will get easier, especially if you're working on unfolding your inner peace. Let's say you feel more at ease in one particular area where before you would feel stressed out and worried, but now you're realizing I'm not feeling quite as stressed anymore. If you ever experienced that, those are good indicators that you're progressing, you're growing. And so when you unfold inner peace in one area, it can translate into other areas of your life. The no part is that there are going to be experiences where you don't feel inner peace, you don't feel at ease. And typically, what I find in my experiences are the experiences that are new to me, that are like feeling like I'm going into uncharted territory. Like, I don't know where the hell I'm at. There's no map to like where I'm at. It's like the unknown is like a scary thing. So usually in those experiences, I don't feel quite as ease. I think that's a very normal thing. But with that comes tremendous opportunity to expand my sense of inner peace. By seeing, okay, here's an opportunity for me to unfold. Again, mindset's a very important thing. Okay, I'm experiencing this new thing that I've never experienced before, and it feels scary. And, for me, it's important that I feel all that I face that. And in the back of my mind, knowing that I'm going to make it through this and I'm going to become a better person than I was yesterday. And that's that vibration of determination, dedication, is belief in myself, believing that I will make it through. I'm sure you've had some rough patches in your life. And the fact that you're standing, or maybe you're sitting watching this video, whichever the case may be, or you might be running at the same time. I don't know how you watch videos, but there's a good chance that just the mere fact that you're watching this video says a lot about you positively, that you've made it through those rough patches, those bumps in life, that there's no reason why you can't success even more in the future, regardless of what the future may bring. Having that sense of inner peace is like belief in myself, and that no matter what happens in the future, not to get so caught up in it, I'll be fine. I trust that I have the support of the universe, God, spirit guides. Like, I know I felt mine, but I do believe that we all have spirit guides accompanying us, with us on our journey, and that we're never truly alone. And so all that together, these are important things of why it's necessary to prioritize your inner peace. One of the keys for me, at least, that that has helped me are the spiritual keys. It's, I am energy. I came here to learn and grow. I have a unique life purpose. I have inner guidance, and I am free. So those are like the spiritual keys that for myself, that has helped me to make sense of the senseless, the chaos, the craziness. It's just that times this gets in the way. We've been programmed too much in this, and especially by our society, that we leave our intuitive, our heart center, our psychic part out. People get into this, the mental gymnastics, the emotions, all the craziness that you see out there in the news, on social media, you name it, the list goes on. But at some point, it's like, if you want to make an impact where you are with your loved ones, with your family, with your friends and colleagues, or in your local community, it's important to cultivate that inner peace within yourself, doing the healing within yourself, and leading by example, because it's that kind of impact, that vibration of inner peace that comes about doing the inner work, where it's facing the ugly things, the things that can come up, the things that are unpleasant, it's facing all that to get to inner peace on the other side. Doing that kind of practice and work can have tremendous effect on other people, even with people you cross paths with for like a brief moment. That kind of subtle influence can still rub off into other people. I mean, think about it. If nasty, like crappy vibrations, like anger, that can be so contagious and rub off on people, and it can just make a mess. So too, the positive qualities, like that vibration of inner peace, love, kindness, respect, that can rub off onto the people you come into contact with. And that kind of influence I've observed within myself. Again, this is practicing self-awareness and just being aware of my environment, of other people. Change, true change, is inside out. It's a part of my truth. This is like what I see as the truth, one of the truths of life. It's like universal in a sense of just timelessness. It will always be. That's always going to be the case. And so coming back to inner peace and making sure to make it a priority. Because if you've got things going on within yourself that's getting you riled up and feeling this type of way, how can you put your best foot forward? How can you be the best of service to other people in your life if you don't got yourself taken care of? It's from that place of, taking care within yourself, having that inner peace, making it a priority so that you operate from a full cup rather than from a half cup, because there's situations like that where people will feel drained and tired and exhausted because they leave themselves out. So that's why I say it's important from the sense of self, not from the sense of narcissism or ego, but from the sense of practicality. I can help people the best when I'm doing my best. And that doesn't mean like I have to be perfect or well off or whatever. I just got to make sure I got me. I'm level headed, right? Like the baseline. Think of the analogy of like if you're flown a plane When the flight attendant talked about in the event of emergency where there's a change in air pressure in the cabin area where people are the passengers, these air masks, these oxygen masks come down and they say, make sure you have your oxygen mask on first before you help your neighbor. And that's speaking on the practical. Make sure you got your oxygen to the baseline, right? It's not about being perfect. I'm not saying you have to be perfect before you start helping people. Just make sure you got yourself the baseline. You know, it's a very important distinction that I want to make here so that there's no confusion. So inner peace, this is where I'm at this point in my life. And it's something that I'm always learning at any moment throughout the day to make that a priority. And of course, I will admit there are moments when I don't prioritize that and I get caught up in worrying about something. I get worried about something very, oftentimes very small. And that's for me, I know this is an opportunity for me to examine that. And this is the part where the challenge comes in of facing whatever it is that's preventing me from coming back to my sense of inner peace within. What's stopping me? And it takes sincerity, it takes courage. Sincerity is like actually setting aside the time for me, setting aside the time to say, okay, I'm feeling this right now. What's going on? Is this something that I'm picking up from in my environment, other people? Is this something that I've picked up in my first 7 years while I'm in this lifetime? Where is it coming from? Because all those insecurities and fears, those are not indicative of who we are as a soul. That's not who you are. You are not doubt. You are not fear. You are fearless. To say it more practically, you can navigate and work through fear. You're not powerless by fear. In fact, I almost want to say you're almost empowered by fear, meaning like when fear comes up, here's a challenge. Let me work through this. Let me cut through it. All this to say, if you really want to make it very far, if you really want to advance and do a lot for yourself and be successful, I think practicing inner peace is a very important ingredient for success because feeling that inner peace paves the way to feeling more fulfillment, feeling more joy in daily life. Because the chaos is happening no matter what, it's gonna keep happening. And that's why you have the power within yourself. Okay, what are you gonna do about it? To the extent that it's practical, realistic, where make sure you got yourself and then helping people you come into contact with, whomever that is, and be a positive light, a positive influence, and trusting that it's doing something. That's one of the things I have to remind myself. Sometimes that the effect that I may have with the people is not always obvious, but I appreciate those moments when I recognize how I've influenced somebody positively, whether it's just awareness or even somebody just tells me. When you get that kind of feedback, whatever it is, I would suggest writing it down and look back to it. If you find yourself with this doubt out there trying to creep, no, doubt. You won't get me. And I will say this, I'll have some resources in the video as well too that I put here for you. So if you want to take those steps to work towards more unfolding your inner peace, educating yourself on understanding the bigger picture of life, I invite you to check out the resources that I have that I share in this video because I've utilized these resources. These are what's led me to where I'm at right now, where I feel a lot more at ease. Yeah, it's not about being perfect. Not about being perfect, but just being in a better place than I was yesterday. But for myself, being in a way better place than I was several years ago. And so if you made it to this video, thank you so much for your time and attention. My name is Alvin, signing out. And as always, take care, my dear friend.